It's back to school time, which can mean navigating some life transitions. Dr. Amber Bach-Gorman from the NDSU Counseling Center is here to help. Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
We're covering all the topics for back to school. That doesn't just mean elementary, high school, college students. This is a big change for them as well.
It is. It's a big change. For many of them, it's the first time they're out of their houses, maybe living with somebody that's not a family member. There's just a lot of transitions that are happening for them.
So talk a little bit about the anxiety, because change isn't always bad, but sometimes change can cause anxiety. What are some of the biggest triggers?
Well, I think it can be anything from how am I going to perform academically in this new type of environment. For some of the students, maybe it's their first time in a large lecture hall. They might have a professor that looks or sounds differently than them, that it feels differently. They might be living with a roommate. It might be the first time they're sharing a room. I think even just managing things like, how do I manage getting my clothes washed and getting to class and getting to bed on time and getting up and getting myself out the door. There's just all those little things that I think as older adults we get really used to. All of a sudden they're like, I didn't realize how much I relied maybe on mom and dad for that.
Yeah, mom does a lot that no one realizes.
Yep.
So how is it best to maybe address those fears and anxieties? And we don't want to just ignore them and just say, well, everybody has that.
I think the first thing is when your student calls you and says, I'm just so stressed out, I think it's natural for us as parents to want to say, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Yeah. And what we don't realize is in some ways that's kind of invalidating. And instead have a conversation with them. Well, is there something specific that you're really struggling with? What are you really worried about? Can we kind of brainstorm a little bit about what might be helpful for you to strategize to be successful in this? I think sometimes when we say it's fine, we want to believe it's going to be fine. and then sometimes our student can feel like, that isn't what I needed. Sometimes I suggest to parents, ask your student, what do you need right now? Do you need problem solving or do you need to just vent? That those are two very different approaches to a conversation.
Great question. Can you talk to my husband as well with that one as well? How about some tips for incoming freshmen maybe trying to make that transition? This weekend is NDSU's move-in.
Yes, there are all kinds of events going on from Saturday throughout the week. And what I always tell new students is to make sure to take part in those as much as you can. Okay. Because a lot of times the process of those, and what the students don't realize, is we develop those so that they can get out, they can meet people, they become familiar on campus, they can start to connect. All of a sudden, everything that feels so new will become more normal and feel more at home if they get out and they experience these things. And a lot of times, the people that they meet and they connect with during those events are the friends that they make that they'll keep throughout the year.
And no joke, we're talking for your college student, but sometimes moms and dads are really emotional about this. Can you give moms and dads some advice as well? Yeah. The first thing that is important for them to know is that if they have any questions, they can reach out to many of us at NDSU. We get a lot of calls from parents at the Counseling Center saying, I'm concerned about this. My son or daughter told me about this. Can you give me some guidance, some points? They often should not forget that we have a whole host of residence life staff that are welcome to hear from them, but also to give themselves a little grace. This is a transition for them and for their kids. And even though maybe they've been looking forward to being empty nesters for quite a while, even good stress is still stress. So it's going to feel a little different for you and for your child. And to just allow yourself to feel that kind of uncomfortableness for a while. And let's talk a little bit about, you're from the Counseling Center, what are the resources available to students?
Yeah, so at the Counseling Center, all of our services are free except for some extended testing services, but we offer personal and emotional counseling. We're able to help them strategize for some successful academic skill building, some time management, conflict resolution. We have a tutoring center on campus that they can utilize. We have a lot of quiet rooms if they're feeling like their roommate is a little bit too loud, that they can go study with. So we have a lot of support systems. And really, again, they just need to not be afraid to pick up the phone or to just walk in. We love students that just walk in.
Yeah, so go ahead. You don't have to suffer in silence. That really goes with anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not even the first week of school.
Absolutely.
Great advice. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Coming up next, some great fall fashion. We're heading to Fusion Boutique to see what is new.